Guess it's time to do my post-gig report. Wish I had better news to report. I've been looking forward to this moment for weeks, and now that it's come and gone, it's just been a huge disappointment. Life has been so crappy for me recently, so I was probably putting way too much expectation on it. Couldn't really help it. The gig was like a lifeline, and I grabbed onto it with both hands. Got all dressed up in my best sexy drummer chick outfit. Got all ready to go. And despite the awkwardness that's been super obvious since I foolishly kissed him, Matt said that he was going to show up before the gig and help me transport my drum set. And I waited, and I waited, and I waited. Waited for as long as I could. Even texted him a couple times, but eventually Dad and I just loaded up the drum kit ourselves and went to the coffee shop. When I got there, all of my bandmates were freaking out. They were super nervous. And I knew I should have done something to calm everyone down, but I couldn't stop thinking about Matt and the fact that he'd stood me up. I kept looking at the door every time it opened, hoping to see this out-of-breath Matt who would run over and apologize and give some sort of really good, really valid excuse. And it didn't happen. And the actual gig did not go well, you could say. There were technical issues. There was more than a few empty tables. And then during the actual show, we all made a lot more mistakes than we normally do, which I chalk up to nerves for the rest of the band, but for me it was because I wasn't there. I wasn't present. My mind just kept wandering to the whole Matt thing, wondering why he stood me up. Then we got through the set and people clapped politely, but we certainly didn't bring the house down. The worst thing is I know we're so much better than what we showed at the gig, and I really think that we just need another chance and we'll be so much better, but we're hoping to make a positive impression, to get some buzz, some word of mouth going, and it's not going to happen. So I guess now the only thing to do is to hope for a second chance. We just had a bad night, you know? And it happens to everyone. It's just a shame that it happened to us right then, at that moment. I don't know if this thing between me and Matt can be fixed. It's really not a good sign that he stood me up, and he still hasn't returned any of my messages. So, yeah, final verdict is not a good night. Not a good night for anyone involved.